Hi guys, sorry for the delay between this video and the previous one. I've been waiting for a printer to arrive to print off some game cards to show you mid-video, as it were, and the printer has arrived this morning. So that isn't set up yet, but it will be soon. I'll be doing those videos in the next couple of days or so. A downloader, not a customer, has asked me to put up a video about the manoeuvring in the dogfight rules. The dogfight rules aren't yet available. They will be part of the main rules, but this person is a playtester, and I thought I'd put them up here now, as a few people have commented on them across the different groups I've posted on. So I'll put them up now to explain things a bit better. Aircraft have three movements. They have either afterburner or maximum speed movement, cruise movement, and a manoeuvre movement. Now, not all aircraft have those. For instance, this Bear only has a cruise movement. It does have a maximum speed movement, but it isn't much greater than its cruise movement, and it doesn't have a manoeuvre rate. Because those ratings, manoeuvre ratings, are used in tight turning situations, backwind turns, split S's, Immelmans, yo-yos, or high yo-yos. This isn't pulling off any of those manoeuvres. So, what does it mean in game? So first of all, we have reactions for the units. Same as all the ships have reactions as well, based on the quality of their captain and the quality of their crew combined. So one can cancel out the other, or they can both have bonuses, or they can both have negatives. Aircraft have exactly the same principle. They have the pilot's training quality and their commander's quality. So in this case here, the F-18s have a reaction of 3+, and the Su-33s have a reaction of 4+. The Su-33s are a better aircraft than the F-18s, but they rely on the pilot. So, as has happened repeatedly in the games I've played out, the F-18s quite often win the fight against the Su-33s, even though they are outclassed technologically. Right, so, what's this mean? The missile phase and the aircraft phases fill up 12 phases of each turn. So you have the movement of the ships, movement of helicopters, movement of submarines, movement of unclassified units, and then you have the missile and aircraft phases. And they are combined together. There's 12 of them. Each turn, is 12 minutes, and each missile and aircraft phase is 1 minute. Now that's quite a long period of time in an aerial dogfight. Dogfights that last more than 3 minutes last a lifetime, but these can take potentially a couple of turns to play out sometimes. So how does this work? The reaction rolls only come in when aircraft are engaged. So in this situation, the F-18s have an intercept on the Su-33s. They've got lock-ons and they're firing missiles. Locking on and firing missiles happen in two separate phases. So in the one phase you'll roll for lock-ons, great. In the next phase you'll move the missiles. And normally I'd mark the missiles out. I don't think I've got anything. There we go. I do have some available. There we go. Now the rules do cover flights. No, that's not true. Wingman pairs and individual aircraft. So you don't have to have them always mounted up as pairs on this, but at 1/3000 scale, it seems to make more sense. When I play it at 1/600 scale, when I'm doing when I'm doing Vietnam or Cold War, then I'll mount them individually instead. So here, these guys have locked on with their missiles. each plane is firing, or each aircraft is firing one missile at one target over there. The following phase, at the start of the next phase, the aircraft have to roll for initiative or for reactions. In this one, they both pass. 4 pluses over here. That one fails, that one passes. Ideal. So, this aircraft, we'll assume they have a movement of 12 now, just to make my life a bit easier. He's passed his initiative, or his reaction test. These guys have passed their reaction tests. He has to move first because he's in the lock-on arc, but his movement improves. So what we're going to do is he moves 12. He's going to use, that's his cruising speed. He's going to stay at his cruising speed, but he gets to turn 45 degrees at the start of his turn, and then move half movement, turn 45 degrees if he wants to again, and move the rest of his movement. That's going to put him in a really hard position for these guys to maintain locks. This guy now has to move. Now he failed his move, his reaction. So he moves 6 centimeters, turns at the midpoint only, and moves the rest of his movement. He is much further out and therefore much easier to reach. These guys have passed their tests. So this one's going to turn 45. And he is going to make his manoeuvre movement, which in this case is just 6 centimeters. And that's going to put him there, still launching the missiles. This guy is going to go at his cruise rate. He's going to turn 45, and he is going to move his 12 centimeters to there. Both sets of aircraft have managed to maintain locks because they're within the 45 degree arc at the front of the aircraft. So they fire their missiles. This guy reacted. That has multiple bonuses for him. The missile will find it harder to track, and the damage it will do will potentially be reduced as well. I'm not going to go into that because that's fairly obvious in the main rules, but the manoeuvre speeds are the important part, or the way the speeds work. So you have the 3 speeds. Aircraft move, cruise, afterburner and manoeuvre. The afterburner can only be used in an engaged state if a reaction test is passed. The manoeuvre movement can only be used in an engaged state if a reaction test is passed. All other movement is done at cruise speed. It stops players from using their aircraft unrealistically in some respects. A few times when playtesting this, someone was like, "Oh, I'll afterburner, do this, do that, do that." They're going to throw in these manoeuvres straight after an afterburner move. It's like, oh, okay. It didn't really work. It didn't gel properly. So the reason for the 3 movement rates is to represent the dogfight manoeuvres and the options available to the pilots, rather than the godlike knowledge that the player has when doing things and when executing his moves and so on and so forth. It does create for a very intense game. You are very aware of having a lower quality pilots up against higher quality pilots. You become very aware of the distance between aircraft. I haven't gone into that just then with the missiles. They would move normally as described in the main rules, but they have dogfight ranges, and those are worked out as increments in a single phase. Because you have, what's the phrase? You have potential kills. Probability kills, sorry. Not potential, probability kills. And the further you are away from an enemy aircraft, the lower your probability of kill is. The more of a height difference is between you and the enemy aircraft, again, the lower probability of the kill. Those are taken into account in these rules. So manoeuvring putting yourself at a different height to your enemy, putting yourself at a very awkward angle to the enemy, or after burning and moving away from the enemy at a high speed, especially if they failed the reaction test, makes a vast difference on the aerial combat. And that's why, quite often, the combat tends to last a bit longer than it would do in real life, mainly because the phases are extended rather than being bang on accurate to what should be achievable. But yeah, that's the dogfight rules manoeuvring, very briefly explained. I hope it actually makes sense. Yeah, if you want to give me a like, that'd be superb. If you want to share, if you want to follow, if you want to subscribe, if you want to hit the bell icon, all those things are great. If you want to download the rules, then go to the Grenzer Games Facebook group, and they are in the file section. I'll drop a link below to the group, and thank you ever so much. Cheers. See you soon, guys. Bye.